but it's Milwaukee.
Yeah, it's the Bucks, those damn Bucks.
Yeah. Giannis is just like a different level of NBA player.
The damn Bucks.
Yeah, the Bucks. And then you got the Young Bucks.
Yeah. The so-called Bucks.
Yeah, one of the worst wrestling teams.
Ever. I can't watch AEW. I've tried again and just I can't. All the watching is what's just getting annoying.
I have it taped, but I haven't watched it in weeks. Probably a good thing, I guess, I haven't watched it in weeks, because I guess it's that bad.
It's not hard. Jericho, you're part of a company that has watching after watch, Chris.
Oh, he's probably retiring, right? He probably just went there so that he can retire.
Probably.
He doesn't wrestle that often, right? He wrestles like, what, once a while?
Like a big blue moon.
And most of the time it's just his little segments, so he's got a pretty easy gig to retirement.
Yeah.
Show up on TV, cut a few promos, wrestle at the pay-per-view, there you go.
He wrestles sometimes on... That's the reason I wanted to watch him. I'm a Jericho fan.
I think his best days are behind him, though.
And yeah, see his body stature.
I know it's coming from a UFC fan, but I can even say that about UFC guys. Like, I'd say, like, Cowboy Cerrone's there, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if you keep doing it. Like, the guy's got a kid and a wife and, like, retire, man.
Yeah, definitely retired. You got a wife and child. Like, that's the thing with Brady. You gotta look at, the way they see TV and shit like that. Brady's gotta realize he's got a model wife that knows such a mom kind of
Yep.
And then the kids. Brady's really gotta think this through this season.
No, I don't think the Patriots do anything this year unless they bring in the players. The only way I think I see Brady staying is if Kraft opens up his wallet and gets him either one good receiver or two good receivers to add to the team. That's the only way I see Brady staying. He needs players to play with. I mean, he's definitely the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time in football. And we can't really take that away from him, but he just needs players to play with him. It can't be just Edelman.
No.
Edelman's great, yeah, don't get me wrong on Edelman, but he kind of need more than one weapon. Yeah, like whenever Gronk left, that was kind of like the slow decline for New England, it seemed.
Yeah.
As soon as Gronk announced his retirement, because their tight end is not even as good as Gronk.
No. Mine was something stupid.
Their defense was better than their offense this year.
Yep.
Which is not bad. It's good to have the good defense, but your offense has got to be a lot better than what they were.
That's 100% true.
Well, they should not have lost to Tennessee.
No.
Well, that's for a while. Tennessee was going to go all the way, but they seemed, I don't know. Their luck ran out against Mahomes.
That is true.
Because they should have lost both those games. They should have lost against New England, Tennessee. And then Tennessee should have easily lost against Baltimore, but Baltimore crapped the bed.
This guy says, Carl Stepper with Dax, sorry, oops. Pass on Dak, no pun intended, and make him a backup instead. Hard choice and need to get the Cowboys back to Super Bowl. Not one where quarterbacks still needs work in the accuracy department. He could be a world-class backup at any rate, behind a much better QB that already has super skills. Doesn't need a lot of development. Remember Coach Clappy with a backup to Aikman, and it worked out until he tried to become a coach. That is not what Dax did. That. Never mind. Prescott.
Prescott's not that bad of a quarterback, really.
He's cut with friends.
They have probably the best offensive line in football.
Yeah.
Their O-line has been like #1 for what? How many years? And I'm an Eagles fan, and even I'm saying that they have like the best offensive line. They have some of the best players too. I think part of that was coaching. It's not all on Prescott.
No. Do I see Prescott's thing? I'm going to say, actually, no. For a reason. And the reason is, I think we're going to see a whole new quarterback in person, and I think it's going to be Phil Rivers.
Yeah, you never know.
He takes over Dallas. I'm not saying Tom Brady, I do like him, but do I see Tom Brady back in England? Definitely not. He's done.
I think he might.
I can see Brady in two places. I could see him possibly in his home state of Los Angeles, in California, either back with the Rams, long team, not Raiders, coming in, Chargers, or I could see him in New York. Let's look for it out today. I could see TB done in the New York Giants uniform. So I could see the Giants actually maybe.
I don't know if we'd go to those teams. He wants to win, right? He's not going to go to a team that's not going to be ready for a playoff run or at least a shot at a Super Bowl.
I could see Giants, if they get him, they're going to put the money in to get him. That's just me, or I can see, I was going to say Philly, but that could be a really good stretch.
Yeah, but the Giants don't have any player outside of Saquon. Outside of Saquon Barkley, they have nobody. They ain't gonna make a playoff run with just Saquon Barkley and Tom Brady.
Somebody goes, who else do you see Brady go to, if I was really being honest, I could see him teaming. I said, I didn't want to answer the question. I was like, guys, he didn't like my answer. I said he won't be going, but I don't see him back. I don't see them getting the money.
I don't know. There are not many teams that are going to get him outside of really New England. I don't see Philly. Philly's not going to go after him. Well, maybe they will, but Philly's already looking at possibly Joe Flacco as the backup.
Yeah, Flacco would be good. Dallas could. Jones probably will Flacco out the money. I know that was cheesy.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, I think Flacco's best years are behind him too, but it might be a little bit of a better than McCowan. God, anything would be better than McCowan. Bring Adam Sandler back as Bobby Boucher. That's better than McCowan. Oh,
or just as horrible.
McCowan is terrible.
Yeah.
There's talks Philly could get Eric Berry.
Nice. He'd be a good pickup. He'd be a good guy, yeah.
Because he's making a comeback next year.
Nice.
Because they're potentially going to lose Malcolm Jenkins. So if they lose him, they're going to build up their secondary, so they might take a run at Eric Berry.
Nice.
A former Kansas City Chief.
Nice.
I think Philly will have to make a lot of changes on the defensive end, though. This Kelsey, I think, is going to retire, so they're going to have to fill his spot. And they're going to, yeah, they're going to need to build up that O-line a little bit better. Because Wentz has to be protected. Like, Wentz is a great pocket passer, but he needs the protection.
Yeah.
Especially with all his injuries, he really needs to be protected now.
Yeah. You can't have one careful or steal.
No, well, they need better protection. And they need a better secondary because they're constantly getting burned in the secondary.
Yeah.
I don't know what do the Saints do too. You got to think of that's another one that you got to think of with the. I know my sister hates Tom Brady, but that's another thing you got to think of with the Saints. If Drew calls it a career, because he said he's either going to come back to New Orleans or he's going to retire. And if Drew goes with retirement, they're going to have to get a pretty decent quarterback in there to fill the void of Drew Brees.
Yeah. No, I think it's just for a heart attack.
And it can't be like a Joe Flacco kind of thing. They need like a proven quarterback.
Yeah.
So that could be another place I'd possibly see him.
True.
Because New Orleans is halfway there. They're almost ready to win a championship. They just got to get over that hump there. But I think with probably like the right quarterback, they probably will. And that team would make sense because he's got weapons there, right? He's got Michael Thomas, Ted Ginn's there. He's got Alvin Kamara. The pieces are in play.
True.
Because Seattle's going to stick it out with Wilson, so can't see him in Seattle. Green Bay more than likely is going to stick it out with Rodgers, even though this year was kind of disaster for them. And I can't really see Green Bay giving up on Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Another team that could use Tom Brady is the Rams.
Oh yeah, I never thought of them.
Goff has really struggled. They kind of have the pieces in play there too. I think that's a team he's been linked to too, is the Rams.
Crazy.
And the pieces are there in LA as well.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Todd Gurley. Goff just never panned out.
No.
And sadly, I can say the same thing about Philly with Carson Wentz so far.
Wentz just can't stop being injury prone.
Yeah, he never really panned out. Like, he's had flashes of greatness.
Yeah.
But I don't really think that he's panned out that well as a starter.
No.
Mind you, he got them almost all the way there before he got injured the year that they won the Super Bowl.
That's true.
I think Philly brings back Foles.
I think so too.
Because Foles wants out of Jacksonville.
Crazy.
Well, he doesn't start there, right? He's kind of warming the bench. They went to Gardner Minshew even when Foles was healthy. Well, I think he could find his way back to Philly.
Very good too.
Let's see what happens in the offseason. I wouldn't mind Foles coming back, though. That's a solid backup to Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Or even a solid starter if Wentz kind of craps the bed halfway through.
That is true.
Nice, they could have Big Dick Nick back again. A nickname that I don't know who the hell came up with it, but it's just disturbing on so many levels.
Yeah, big, never mind. Yeah. Big Dick Nick. Hey, Nick, what's your nickname? Never mind. Oh, never mind. It's inappropriate. I have a wife now. Again, what a nickname. You're right.
Yep, that's true. I find it sad too with the promotion for the Super Bowl thing with whatchamacallit there, San Fran, that the guy who got them there, like, they're all talking like, oh, this is San Fran's first like what's his name didn't do anything for them, or he didn't bring them to the Super Bowl, or he didn't, like, he doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's like he's completely blacklisted.
Yeah, I think the NFL's got to wake up on that. Like, let it go. Let Kaepernick back into the league, or at least include him and stuff. You know, because he was the reason that they got to where they got to.
Yeah.
And they basically would have won the Super Bowl if it wasn't for that power outage.
Yeah.
But no, he doesn't exist.
Yeah, he's like, I did this. Oh, did you?
It's like they completely erased all that, and they're just basically going off, oh, they haven't done anything in the last couple of years. They were last place last year, and now they're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Not. Oh, they were here before with what's his face with Kaepernick. Nope.
I don't get the info.
I don't get them either. Like, why bring the guy back to even practice when it was just like they're just gonna make a mockery of him anyways? Like, Kaepernick kind of screwed it up in a way too, but in a way I kind of see like Kaepernick's point too with what he did with the things. Like, nobody was gonna watch him. Like, they just basically set it up as like just to mock him, basically, just to say that they've reached out to him to give him a chance, only to like do nothing with it and say, oh no, yeah, well, we tried. Well, you didn't try very hard there, NFL. If you really wanted the guy back, you would have put a better effort to bring him into the league. So I don't know. I think they're both kind of to blame in that situation, because even Kaepernick too, like this kind of stuff that he was doing when they were doing that tryout, like, is basically like a guy who doesn't want to be back in the league. Even though he says he does want to be back in the league, but he's doing things that, like, I don't know, he's not thinking. But it would have been interesting to see him with real wide receivers instead of like his buddies.
Sure.
And see kind of how he would have did with actual NFL players.
Yeah, he wasn't even a number. Morgan was kind of missing one.
Wonder if he'll be at the game. Oh, they probably won't even let him attend the game. Even if he wanted to go there to probably to support the Niners, they probably wouldn't even let him in the arena.
Alright, who are you? I'm Colin Kaepernick, huh? I have to pay a ticket. No, I bought a ticket. Probably. Who are you again? Oh, never mind who I am. You know who I am. I'm Kaepernick. Captain Nick. I just had to. I think he's a nut job. No, he's different than me. He's nut job. Yeah. NFL is not that innocent either.
No, they're both guilty in that whole situation.
Guilty as charged.
The NFL is guilty, Kaepernick's guilty, yeah.
They're all guilty all the time.
Yep. I think it'd be a good Super Bowl, though, with those two teams.
I think so. I mean, for a tweet. They're showing more tributes to, what's his name?
Oh, we'll probably be showing that all week.
I don't know. One person's like, too much. I said, I blocked 2 guys today. When they said it was too much, I said, I'll bait you said first, go after yourself and show some respect to the man. And one guy just goes and, no, I'm not kidding you on this one. One guy said because he's black, they're getting more respect and honor. They think because the other people were not of color, they didn't even mention.
No. That's everything that he did for this. He did a lot for the sport. He could have been white and he would have been the same thing because of everything that he put into the sport.
Yep.
Mentoring the young players and stuff like that.
That is true.
He actually took Norman Powell out to train with him. That's why Norman Powell wears 24 because of Kobe.
Kobe Bryant's real name Kobe B. Bryant?
Kobe Bean? Something like that, yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know. Oh, yeah, it's like a
Let's see.
Kobe B. Bryant. Must be B, must be his real name. Are you doing something Friday also?
I don't think. Oh no, I'm going down there Friday night
There you go.
for Saturday because Saturday is like at
The fishing.
the fishing super early.
Oh my god, you do I think she's right, you do forget things sometimes.
Well, yeah, his real name's Kobe Bean Bryant. He was born August 23rd, 1978 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
He was the first overall pick, picked in the first round, 13 overall in 1996
Wow.
by the Charlotte Hornets.
Wow.
And because the Charlotte Hornets wanted Vlade Divac at the time, the Charlotte Hornets traded Kobe Bryant to the Los Angeles Lakers. And then, as they say, the rest is history from there.
Yeah, just imagine the trade didn't happen.
He would have been playing with Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Hornets traded him to Los Angeles.
Gotta get the few stuff ready for the fishing thing.
Well, she has the rod and stuff because it's a different rod, right? 'Cause it's ice fishing. The rods for ice fishing are a lot. Like the rod that I have.